16 through 24, 26 through 29. Just need a vote on the balance.
Moving to a vote, favoring, opposed, items carried.
Items removed for separate consideration. Item 11, is there a motion?
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries. Councilmember Brown voting no.
Item 14, is there a motion?
Move.
Second.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries.
Item 16 is an ordinance.
Tabled by Councilmember Rodriguez.
And item 16A is an ordinance.
Tabled by Councilmember Rodriguez.
Item 17 is an ordinance.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries. Councilmember Brown voting no.
Item 18 is an ordinance.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries. Councilmember Brown voting no.
Item 19 is an ordinance.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries. Councilmember Brown? Okay.
Item 20 is an ordinance.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries. Councilmember Brown voting no.
Item 21 is an ordinance.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries. Councilmember Brown voting no.
Item 23 is an ordinance.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries. Councilmember Brown voting no.
Discussion. I'm sorry,
Councilmember Brown.
I'm sorry, not too late.
Do you wish to point of privilege to address this?
Well, I just wanted to make a highlight about item number 23. And I know that Councilmember Cohen and I think I share the front part and she shares the back part of this particular development. And so whenever we're talking about affordable housing for our U.S. vets, we always have to, to always support those programs. So, and I know Councilmember Cohen supports this item as well. So I want to thank my colleagues for supporting this, because this is a very important item to go and coincide with what Mandy was talking about today of making sure that we have proper SROs or units available for those that are either coming home from the service to prevent homelessness among our veterans. So thank you all for supporting this item. Mayor, thank you for allowing me to comment.
And Councilmember Cohen for a point of privilege.
Thank you. Thank you, and I would just add that what I think is particularly important is that, we're talking about costs for, property for housing. And this is incredibly important, and sometimes people around the table will, voice their support for the poor, the indigent, the homeless, but when it comes time to voting for funding, to go after funds that are there that can actually make it happen, they vote against it. And to me, that's always, a difficult way of looking at things. If you feel strongly that you want to do something, as you and I both do in this case, then you have to vote for it, and you have to make it happen. Whether they're private monies, private, public, or federal funding sources. So, thank you, Councilmember.
Thank you, and this is actually one of the projects in progress that was referred to earlier by our housing director. Item 24 is the next one.
24 is an ordinance.
Discussion, Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. Mayor, I just want to speak in support of this and commend the work of the Mayor's Anti-Gang Office for all of their efforts in prevention and intervention, which I think is critical. These services impact youth prior to their involvement in the juvenile justice system. Once they get into the system, if you will, it becomes much more costly on everyone. So this effort with a diversion counselor and continuing to deal with prevention, I think, is money well spent. It's grant money as well, so we're leveraging those grant dollars to make a positive impact in addressing some of our juvenile gang issue here locally. So ask for my colleagues to please support this.
Moving to a vote on the item, favoring, opposed, item carries.
Item 26 is an ordinance.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries.
Item 27 is an ordinance.
Discussion. Councilmember Vice Mayor
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. On this item, I submitted 8 questions and I received 3 answers and 5 responses. So I'm going to tag the item and ask that someone from HPD come by and answer my questions and not just send a response to me. I had an issue similar to this last week with HRA item 37 on this week's agenda. And I want to commend Neil Ratcliffe and those in the Housing Department. They came by and gave very detailed, very proper answers to my inquiries, so I have no issue with their item this week because they answered the questions. I'm just trying to reiterate to people answering the questions, I'm not looking for a response. I'm looking for an answer to the question or simply say there isn't an answer. So I'll be tagging this item and asking someone from HPD to come by and answer my questions as opposed to just give me a response at the kind of tag.
Tagged by Vice Mayor Pro Tem Bradford, and apparently by Councilmember Brown as well.
Item 28 is an ordinance.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries.
Item 29 is an ordinance.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries.
Item 36 is an ordinance.
Discussion? Favoring, opposed, item carries.
37 is an ordinance.
Discussion?
Discussion.
Vice Mayor Pro Tem Bradford.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to say kudos to the Director of the Housing Department on this particular item. I had questions. They responded. They came back with answers. They kind of set the model as to what at least I'm expecting in response to inquiries when I submitted for response. So thank you, Director Bradford. Thank you.
Councilmember Adams.
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to thank the Housing and Community Development Department for the staff for meeting with me